Okay, so we're going to talk about two different cycles that are very similar that I've dealt with way too many times. And if you're on the spectrum, you're probably going to be treated like this way too much. And it's part of why I despise the neurotypical community. I despise the autism community for the same reason, to be honest, though, because they do it too. So let's just say you go on Reddit, you post a comment that's harmless enough, you know, talking to somebody or not, and you're minding your own business, not really picking fights or anything, and people go out of their way to downvote you. And that's out of line. So what do? You say, hey, that's not cool, back off. And instead of saying, you know what, you're right, we're sorry, we're just letting our emotions get to us. No, every frigging time they double down. Every frigging time. It's like, really, it's so predictable. It's like dealing with robots, honestly. And I'm going to use that comparison a lot because I really do think a lot of the people out there are basically soulless robots. I mean, I know it doesn't make a lot of sense and it sounds crazy to say that, but like, hey, if the boot fits and their behavior fits, what else are you going to do? I mean, you got to come to that conclusion. Like, there's something not right there. But anyways, they double down and you tell them, hey, this is way out of line now. You're not being funny. You're being awful. And they just constantly double down. People attack, call you like lame, cringe, whatever the hell. And no one's ever on your side either to counter it. It's not like it's a couple edgelords being funny and everyone else is pretty cool and I'm cherry picking. It really is a unified wall against you, trying to make you feel like crap and shut you out. Which is quite ridiculous because when I want to be part of the community, you guys shun me. But clearly there is a community there if you guys are going to suck each other's penises that hard when someone dares to push back against you acting out of line. Because that is out of line. If you say things that are minor like that and you're not attacking anyone, piss off with the dislikes. I hate that crap. You know, it's so rude, it's so childish, and I hate it. It stresses me out so much because it's making me feel the rejection I've felt so many times. And it's honestly something I've left so many subreddits for because of this unabashed dislike bombing that people do, and they show no shame, no remorse, double down constantly when called out on it. You know, and they seem to take some sick enjoyment and think it's funny. Like, making people suffer and knowing it is hilarious. And that's why I say the soulless robots comment, because, like, that doesn't show humanity. You guys are, like, acting, you know, you want to say you're human and, but why are you acting like a pre-programmed thing that is programmed to be as irredeemable, remorseless, and terrible as possible? I mean, really, it's like if I was a programmer and I could do that, besides being rich and famous, because that's beating current AI, I'd probably do about the same thing. So why are you acting this way? You don't see anything wrong with it. There's also the Discord cycle, where you go on Discord groups, and it's similar. It's not as bad, but you go there and you say, hey, I need some help. I need some emotional support. Usually even inventing channels or need a friend channel. So it's not like, oh, well, I'm not expecting a response. No, need a friend channel says, hey, I'm going there. I need some support here. And what ends up happening? I mean, you pour your heart out, pour your soul out, and you get ignored. And you do it again, and you get ignored. And it's just a constant stream of you never getting what you desperately need and desperately want, which is someone to just give a crap and listen to you and give you some frigging help or emotional support. Oh, but when everyone else posts, they get all the support and help they need. So clearly, it's not a matter of they're too busy or whatever. No, this is malicious. So I call it out, as I do, because I'm a no-nonsense type of person. Do no harm, but take no shit, as they say. I call it out and I say, what the heck? You guys, like, come on. What you're doing isn't right. I need some help here. Do the bare minimum and do what the dang freaking channel says. It's need a friend tab. Act like a friend, for God's sake. And no one ever shows any sympathy. Oh, but now they start talking. Which is going to be important because it defeats a point they're about to make, which is, oh, people are so busy, you can't expect everyone to reply. Wah, 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 wah. Oh, I'm sorry, all I heard was blah, 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 I'm a dirty tramp, a la Mr. Deeds. First of all, your argument's BS. If people are so busy, how come you had time to reply? And how come these other people talk to these other people asking for help or talking about unrelated things like, no, tomorrow? They're so busy, right? Yet they can manage to do that? That's like saying you have, in poker, oh, I have pocket aces when all the aces are out on the board. Yeah, you really have pocket aces. What does that deck have 6 aces? Come on, man. And second of all, I'm not asking for everyone to acknowledge me. If that was the case, that would be ridiculous and unfair. But I'm asking for somebody to acknowledge me, which, quite honestly, in a Discord group of 100 or more people, which is what a lot of these are, that is not an unreasonable request to expect 1 or 2 people to freaking acknowledge your existence when you're asking for help. And clearly it's not too much for them either, because they do it for other people. And yet every time I get the cold shoulder, every time I get snubbed, and it's been a constant cycle of having to do this exodus to new Discord groups, hoping that it'll be different this time, hoping I'll get what I need and what I have deserved for so long. Basic respect and support. And it never is. This, and again, soulless robots. How do you guys have no problem doing this to somebody and making them feel this alone and left out and treated like crap if you have any humanity? Clearly you don't, right? And this is why I hate people. Because it's not even just that they do it. It's their unabashed lack of shame for it. They're doubling down, and they're in sick enjoyment out of it in a lot of cases. Like, you guys are sick. And so many people are like this. And I really don't know why. I kind of want to take a psychology class just to understand how people can be this stupid and horrible. I want to understand. If only so I can, or maybe I don't, honestly. I mean, you dabble in the black arts, soon enough you find yourself becoming the warlock yourself, so to speak. I mean, I don't think anyone's ever actually said that, but you know what I mean. Anyways, that's my spiel. Do better, and if you see people being in this situation, being shunned and shut out, say something against the attackers, or at the very least, support the person publicly or privately that's being attacked and let them know they're not alone. Really I would kill to have someone do that, because no one ever does. And at this point, I'm convinced no one ever will.